Most people think adding a dormer to a roof in AutoCAD is complicated, but it is actually not. Once you learn the method that I'm going to show you today, you'll wonder why no one told you. And so in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the fastest, cleanest way to model dormer in AutoCAD Architecture. So stick around. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Edward, and if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to go deeper than just tutorials, I do have an AutoCAD architecture course for beginners to intermediate. Everything from setting up your project to modeling a complete building. I'll link that in the description, so check it out. Now, I've been getting a lot of comments or questions about dormers. How do you draw them? How do you get it right? Does AutoCAD Architecture even have a clean way to handle it? And so today, that's what we're going to be answering. So with that said, let's jump over into AutoCAD Architecture. Here is the model that we'll be working with, a simple single-story home, and it has the roof already in place. Now, for those who are not familiar with dormer, a dormer is a structure that projects out from a sloped roof like this one here, and it creates vertical wall spaces and almost always holds a window inside of it, and you're going to see how that looks a little bit later on. Now, functionally, dormers do three things. They bring in light, they also add headroom, like I said before, and they break up what would otherwise be a flat, boring roof like this one here. If you look at this, this is pretty flat and boring, so we're going to nice it up a little bit. You see what I'm saying? So for this tutorial, again, I'm going to be using the gable dormer. However, the same principle apply to all the other dormer styles that you may want to use. Now, if you haven't drawn a roof in AutoCAD Architecture yet, I've got a full tutorial on that. I'll link it in the cards above. With that said, let's jump into it. So here is the floor plan of the building, and what I have in the middle here is the size of that dormer space. So I want it to be a 4 feet wide by 10 feet in depth or length, and it looks a little bit elongated, so to speak, but it's good to have it longer in one dimension so that it runs into the roof enough, and then it's going to trim away the parts that you don't need. So you don't have to worry about the length too much, but make sure that you have a width that looks right or is accurate to the dimension that you need. Now, what you'll also notice on the floor plan is that I have predetermined where I want these dormers to be. And so I pretty much just copy this rectangle over so that I have, an idea of where these are going to be. So if I click on this one here, you'll see that it comes all the way to the front of that wall. So it's going to pretty much sit on top of that wall right there, and the rest of it is going to go back into the main roof. It's also going to be cutting through a portion of the smaller roof as well. So you're going to see how that is done. Now, from an elevation point of view, this is what I'm looking at. So you kind of think about how tall you want that wall to be for it to run into the roof on this side. And so we're going to be working with a 14 feet wall plate height for that wall, and then we're going to put the roof on top of that, which should end up somewhere out here. So what I like to do is to draw my dormer outside of the building first, and then I move it into the building. So I'm going to draw this with a standard wall style, and I'm going to make it 4 inches thick, and the base height is going to be 14 feet as was mentioned before. So I'm going to type that in, and then my justify, I'm going to leave that at left. And then what I'll do, I'll start in this corner and I'll just keep drawing my walls around. Okay. Next, I'm going to add the roof. So I'll go to my roof tool here and I'll draw a roof around the edge of this. Enter. I'll also make sure that the roof is sitting on top of the wall, so we need to adjust the plate height. The wall is 14 feet tall. We need to make this 14 feet for the plate height as well. And we're going to adjust a few other things here. We want the edge cut to be plumb. We also want the slope of this roof to be 30 degrees. And lastly, I'm going to convert this to a gable dormer. So I need to grab these points and pull them out to turn it into a dormer. Now let's take a look at this in 3 dimension and see what we have. So this is is what it looks like. Now, since we're here, what we can do is to adjust the front wall here to go up into that gable. So to do that, we will come to roofline, modify, auto project into that roof, and that's what we have there. Now for this back wall, I don't care about it because eventually it's going to be deleted, but we need to have all 4 walls in order for this method to work. Now once that is done, it is now time to convert the roof into a roof slab. So that's what we're going to do here. We click on it, we click on convert, and I'm going to pick the same roof style that I used over here, which would be the standard. And then I'm going to erase that geometry. So once I do that, it is now converted and ready to go. At this point, we could also add the window in. If you know what the window is going to be, why don't we do it now? So I'm going to go to my style browser, and I do have a window style prepared. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to drop it on this front wall here. Make sure it is in the middle. Okay. And then I'm going to adjust its elevation and size as well. So I'm going to make it around 30 feet wide by 3 feet tall. And I'm going to move it up in terms of its head height right here to about 14 feet 5 inches. Now, head height of the window is the top of the window. So I want that to be at 14 feet 5 inch. And of course, that would move it up into that gable area, just like that. So I think that looks good. So now that we have everything prepared and ready, it is now time to copy them over into the building. So what I like to do here is to highlight them in 3D view, because if you don't, you're going to miss the window. So highlight them in 3D view and then go back to top, and then I'll go like this. I'll copy from that corner to this corner here, then to this corner, and then to this corner. So now that I have all 3 of the dormer in place, it is now time to do something fun. Take a look at it in conceptual. You can kind of see where it's at, but you can also see that the wall is interfering with the wall below. So we do need to fix that. Why don't we do that? Actually, we're going to just do it in 3D here. So let me go back to wireframe, and I'm going to detach this XREF. I'm going to unload it rather. Let's unload this as well, and just have the roof. I'm going to also delete that. All right, so I think this looks much cleaner, much easier to deal with. What you want to do from here is to select the main roof and then click on Add Dormer on the Roof Contextual tab. And then what you want to do here, and this is important, you want to select all 4 walls of the dormer, and you want to select the roof for that dormer as well. So once you do that, you hit enter, and it immediately cuts a hole into the roof and creates that dormer. Now it's not done, because you can now slice away parts of the wall. If you look in the command here, it is giving you that option. So of course we want to cut away the wall. So we'll click on that, and just like that, it trimmed it up nicely. Now this back wall, we don't need it anymore, so we can delete it. And so that is how you would cut your dormer inside of that roof. So looking at it conceptually, this is what it looks like. Now it did not cut this one, but we have another solution for that one. If you notice, that roof is still running all the way through. Now for this roof, what we would do here is to use this rectangle to cut a hole in that roof. If I go to top view here, I'll click on this smaller roof and I'll say add hole. Okay. I'll pick that rectangle, and then I'll hit enter, and then I'll erase that geometry. And just like that, you can see that it added that hole inside of that part of the roof. And so the dormer is now truly cutting through both roofs. It is cutting through this one, as you can see underneath here, and then it is also cutting through the lower portion of the roof there as well. And so from here, you would repeat that process 2 more times, and in the end, your result should look something like what you're seeing here. And so that's it. That's the cleanest way I know to get a dormer into your roof model in AutoCAD Architecture. No unnecessary steps, no headaches. Now, if this clicked for you and you want to build on top of that, I do have a full AutoCAD architecture course that takes you from beginner to intermediate. We go through everything you need on a real project. Remember that the link is in the description. If you found this helpful, hit the like button. It genuinely helps the channel to reach more people. Also subscribe if you have not done so already, and drop a comment. Let me know what other topic you want me to cover. I'll see you in the next one.